What's good everyone, it's your boy, yadiiiigg, 4 eyes, 2 G's here, and today we're here to talk about Smokepurpp. And Purpp recently revealed in an interview that during the recording process of his Deadstar 2 album, he wasted $2 million, and I think this number shows that Purpp has suffered heavily from this album financially, and I wanted to break it down.
I'm certain my purpose is writing verses in cursive until the earth split. You ain't really ready for disturbance, in the flyweight feeling all the turbulence. I got the call. I got the call.
1-800 hot shit, call me up and cop this. Toxic, blacking out on every single topic. Drop it.
And I want to say off the bat, of course, a lot of this is speculation, but I thoroughly believe that this album has flopped and Purpp has lost money here. Like, with the performance of the album so far being extremely subpar, with it failing to reach the Hot 100 albums of the week, the singles for it not really moving, and the biggest song thus far on Spotify, What I Please, sitting at around 14 to 15 million, make no mistake, if that 2 million number is accurate, Purpp has almost certainly lost money. To put these numbers into context, Purpp went from literally having not a single certified song to his name at the time of release in Deadstar 1, which debuted at number 42, and went on to have multiple certified songs over the span of a couple years, to debuting nearly 100 spots lower with Deadstar 2. And you don't have to be a math whiz or inside the industry or anything like that to realize that those numbers are quite alarming and do symbolize a significant drop off in a short period of time. If you guys aren't aware of how album budgets work, in order for an artist to get to the point of making money from an album, they first have to recoup or make back not only the production, the marketing, and the recording investment from the label, but also the advance they got for the project. So rather than using the 2 million number, let's use a simpler number for the sake of explanation. Let's say that a label spends a total of $80 to make an album and gives you a $20 advance. However, then the album releases, and between its streams, purchases, etc, the album only makes back $40. You are now receiving 0% of that $40, and in fact, instead, because the label hasn't quote recouped, aka made back the money that they invested into the album, you are now actually $60 in debt, and any money made from the album is given straight to the label. Only once the album makes back that $100 do you begin to see a split of the profits going to you. And some of you may be also wondering how we wasted $2 million in the recording process, but there's a lot more that goes into an album than just a literal song recording process. There's a cost of music videos, there's a cost of sample fees, engineering fees, studio time, marketing and promotion, legal fees, not to mention the cost of features and producers. Also, adding to this is that according to the very same interview, songs that were originally planned to be on the project had leaked again and again. He'd even announced that he was going to drop it way back in September of 2019. So these delays and leaks just lead to more money spent on producers, studio time, promotion, etc, which all runs up the budget. Plus, Purpp over at Alamo is seen as a priority artist. It would be different, for example, if he was on Atlantic with the likes of Uzi, A Boogie, Meek Mill, etc, all competing for the same budget money. There is no way in hell Purpp would be getting a budget that big with those artists on the same label. Sure, here's people like Comethazine, Lil Durk, Got It, etc, but those pale in comparison to the superstars that you find on every major. And Purpp has proven to be a successful commercial artist in the past, which means that Alamo have every right to back him and treat him like a flagship artist. And before we get on guys, quick shout out to Just Javen from my Instagram, big supporter of the channel and appreciate you. Also, if you guys aren't aware, I've teamed up with MILF Dad to give away a free t-shirt. All you gotta do is head over to my Instagram, follow me, follow them, tag a friend in the comments of the photo, and you're in the running to win. I cover the shipping fees and I can ship anywhere internationally, so click the link in the description to possibly win a free t-shirt. But let's keep going. And another thing to consider is that going back to that $100 example, even when you as the artist recoup that $100, it's not like all the money earned after that is going into your pockets. No. The label typically still takes much more than the majority of that, with common label splits being around 80 to 85%. So let's change up this example and say that you end up owning $200 from the album in total. Once the label gets back their initial investment of $100, that then leaves another $100, but then the label takes a further 80% on average of that profit, which nets you only $20 as the artist. And these are common splits and common numbers for a major label situation, and I think these aren't well known by your average consumer, and I think they need to be. So even if Purpp did somehow recoup that $2 million, which I doubt, even still with the dividing up of the money after that, I'm doubtful he has made much on top of that so far. And when an album does poor and a label ends up losing money on an artist, next time around that label is much more wary of spending money on that artist. So I wouldn't be surprised if with the next Smokepurpp project, we see a much more subdued approach with much less of a push, less big names, and a noticeably lower budget, because as I said, with the huge drop off we saw from Deadstar 1 to number 2, the label isn't going to be keen on spending another $2 million and are likely now going to see him as less of a priority moving forward. And as someone who has been quite a big Purpp fan since 2016, I want to see him come back and win. So hopefully for his sake, the label still backs him and we don't see him have the fate of countless artists before him who get shelved by their label and find themselves in release purgatory to never see a release date again. But I guess we'll wait and see. Anyways guys, that's been your boy, yadiiiigg. Like, subscribe, comment, turn on notifications, reminder about that MILF Dad giveaway, link in the description to possibly win a free t-shirt, and there are more videos of mine on screen right now. Do make sure to check them out if you haven't.